quite challenging, but it's very simple. So you're going to open up your snap, lay down the female end, and you're going to take off the male end and lay it there. Now this is just a sample piece of fabric that I've used. I'm going to start with the male section and I'm going to lay it there. You notice with the male section you have there's one under my finger that you can't see, but 1, 2, 3, 4 spaces. So I'm using a contrast thread so you can see what I'm doing. I'm going to show you one way the sew snaps on with the male section and another way with the female section. So with the male section, I'm coming up underneath in one of the holes, and I'm going to come underneath. I'm going to go over the hole and then back under and pull it through like that. So you would do that a couple of times, or 3 times, or maybe even 4 times. So that's just one section done. So now you want to rotate it. And what I do now is I go under this one and then I come back up in the next hole. Pull it out and do the same amount of stitches because I want you to see what the underside looks like. When you flip it over, and you see it's not the prettiest, but this is your under section, so no one's really going to see that. Okay, so what I like to do on the under section, the last one I came out of, I just anchor it a couple of 3 times, and then I clip it. So now you got the male end, which is sticking up. This is one way to sew in a snap. Okay, one side of the snap is sewn in, so we're going to flap it over like that. So we got to find out where to sew the other end of the snap, which is the female section. So I'm going to take the female section and I'm going to go ahead and just snap it in place. So now it's snapped in place, and I'm going to close my garment over it. Now you're going to take it and you're going to peel it off, holding on to that female section. So now what we're going to do the same thing. I'm going to come up underneath. I'm using a different contrast color thread. So I'm going to anchor. Okay, now that I've got it anchored, I'm holding on to one side. You have the same 4 holes on the female side that you have on the male side. So what we're going to do this time, here's one hole that we just came up in. We're going to go down inside this hole. So you're going to go from here to here. Going to go underneath in the hole and underneath. Pull it out. You're going to come back underneath in that first hole. Pull the thread through and go back down into the second hole. Pull it through, and you're going to do the same thing. You're going to do it 3 or 4 times. So by doing that, you've locked in 2 holes at the same time. So if you flip it over, you see you just got one set of stitches going back and forth. So now you want to come back over to the other side. This time you want to come up from underneath and you want to come into that first hole. Pull the thread, go down into the second hole, pull the thread, and you're going to do the same thing here about 2 or 3 times. And in my case, I like to do 3 or 4 times. Now that that's done, I wanted you to see the difference. See how you've got just loops across 2 holes there? Whereas in this one, you got stitches in each individual hole. So now you see there are 2 different ways that you can sew in your snaps. One is by sewing in the individual stitches. As you can see, you've sewn into each individual hole. The other side, it's where we sewn into 2 holes together. So this one's a little faster than this one, and it's a lot neater. So you can do either one that you like, but at any rate, our snap's sewn in, and there you have it. So I hope this tip has been helpful in showing you how to sew on a snap 2 different ways. Hope you try this. Happy sewing!